Hello, my astrology friends. This is Lada from AstroLada.com, and I'm your astrologer for the September 2025 horoscopes. September is eclipse season. That's when things really shake and move. That's when we tend to get, if there is any natural disasters, they're most intense around that time, and those are happening on the axis of water, earth. So we have to watch out for that. The lunar eclipse on the 7th of September, the Virgo eclipse on the 21st of September, solar eclipse. So, whoo, and this is also a sign that in the next 6 to 12 months, because eclipses affect us globally for a long time, there will be big shifts in our medical system. Pisces, Virgo, they're connected to health, to medical things, matters about health and such stuff will be very important. Medical healing system, hospital system might be changing. Virgo is the workforce, and there will be other eclipses in Virgo. So something will shift for the next, already from September, but the job market in a big way. Watch this out. Of course, with AI and everything, oof, exactly those 2 years of eclipses in Virgo and Pisces. Pisces is unemployed, Virgo is working people. There will be like a huge change. Who is unemployed, who is working, maybe more unemployed people because of AI. We'll see this because the eclipse in Virgo is with the South Node, which is like weakening. In Pisces, with the North Node. So they might be like that more people will feel like, what are we going to do, Pisces? And where are we supposed to, are we unemployed now? What is our use? Well, Virgo is like, I feel useful and so on. So the eclipses are happening there on those two Pisces Virgo line. So medical, health, and working, non-working. So this is some of the themes, plus earth and water. You see, the other eclipse in Pisces or near Virgo was with Saturn, Neptune. We had the big water floods that happened in America right after this eclipse. Now let's pray. It's also hurricane season, so who knows? But on a personal level, the first eclipse, the lunar eclipse, is quite positive. It's trine Jupiter, its ruler. It's with the North Node, which tends to give us things for previous efforts, rewards us for something that we've wanted or you've worked on. While the next eclipse on the 21st of September is solar eclipse. It's about new beginnings, but it's with the South Node. You sacrifice something and the new is given to you, or you start the new, you open yourself to the new, and the old just leaves your life organically without effort. And Saturn is coming back to Pisces to finish old work. And actually, Saturn in Pisces cleans the slate, wipes the slate clean from past karmas. Think of problems that you had for the last 27, 8 years, or 14 or 7. These are Saturn cycles, or 21 years, or 14 or 7 or 28. That has been repeated. Saturn is coming back for the last 5 months here together with an eclipse there, a lunar eclipse, which lasts for 3 months to wipe it clean. So you start anew after that. So some repeating problems been bragging you, you're going to solve it in the next 5 months. But before I start with the 12 signs individually, I have a new course. I'm so excited. It's an ancient technique, 3,000 years old, ancient Hellenistic, the 3 periods of life. Everyone has 3 periods in life. Not everyone lives through all 3. But there is a specific way and very easy. You don't need to know astrology. I lead you through that, how to calculate. For some people, the first period of life might be 17 to, for others, 38 years. And to analyze and to see, someone might be born in poverty and they shift into their second ruler, second life period, and they become so successful. Or someone might get into success and fortune and improved life and health only in the third period. So in their 70s, 60s, or some people move into the third period at 50. So for everyone is different. And I'll show you how exactly to calculate it, how to compare the periods, which is stronger, which is weaker. So you have a sense, like my first 38 years, I was in a very weak planet. And now I moved after that. So life has been wonderful into a much stronger planet. So or someone might be like very successful, famous, or, in the young adult years, popular and very promising. And then suddenly they disappear. They enter into their second period, which might be very weak in their horoscope, and they're like Mr. Nobody. So fantastic, only $20 for early bird purchases. Again, I want it to be very accessible to you. And now let's go to the eclipses September for each of the 12 signs. Thank you. Cancer Sun Moon and Rising horoscope for September 2025 with tropical Western astrology. Cancer, this set of eclipses is quite harmoniously set towards Cancer. The two eclipses, the first one on the 7th and the second one on the 21st, are happening on an axis of your ninth house in Pisces and your third house in Virgo, which is sending good aspects to you, unless you have some planets possibly in the Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces, and Gemini axis. You might not even feel it. It's gonna be quite smooth. But I have to tell you, if you feel it, how it can play out. But first of all, Saturn is moving back into your ninth house. It was there for 2 years. But it's coming back to finish some old job, and it's there gonna be till February. So, Saturn is like a planet which likes to remove weeds, and it wants to kind of like really unroot for you certain wrong beliefs, wrong worldviews. Not wrong, but they might not be wrong. They might be just harmful for you. They might be outdated for you, at this stage of life. And you have like 4 or 5 months, you're given a chance to really kind of restructure your mentality about reality. And everyone talks about manifestation and how all that matters is what you believe is possible, your subconscious beliefs. Well, the house of your beliefs is the ninth house. And if you really want to be successful in life, this is the luckiest house in astrology, the ninth house. We give it very little, predictive power when we look at it, but actually, if your ninth house is in good order, no matter what the rest of the horoscope is doing, you have this manifesting ability because your beliefs are working for you rather than against you. And this is what Saturn has been trying to do for the last 2 years. And this is what it gives you on. And usually the last time it enters is the most potent. It shows you the results. You start seeing the results and the light of it. So somehow your beliefs to be deeply restructured about what is possible in your life. Ninth house is one of the self houses, your self identity. It starts with our belief system is who we believe we are. If you believe that you're small and insignificant, or that you're always poor, or that you always struggle in life, or that the story you tell yourself is the ninth house about your subconscious is telling you, the you this is what's going to manifest. And Saturn, you know, in your ninth house, coming back again says, now let's weed out all that rubbish that you believe about yourself or about the world or about how things happen. And yes, this can mean some kind of an existential faith crisis of belief. I had it when Saturn was transiting my ninth house, but I always get much more practical, much more realistic about who am I, and I always kind of I'm forced to work on, when Saturn was in my ninth house, on the things that I'm uh, consciously or subconsciously talking and telling myself that I'm capable of, or that it's possible in this world. And sometimes with Saturn there, we might think, oh, this is not possible, like lose hope. But actually, Saturn wants you to push through and work through that. So this is one of the things, you're restructuring your belief system. Another thing is that the lunar eclipse is also in Pisces. So we have double whammy influence there, and lunar eclipse acts for 3 months after that. Saturn will be 4 or 5 months there. So this is not influence for one day. And if you say, oh, nothing like that happened in September, no, because again, I'm talking to you long periods ahead, 4 or 5 months. So it might happen in January for you. And you'd say, well, Lada is always wrong. Happen another time, but I'm telling you, maybe not in September. This is when we get the signs in the sky, but it's signs for the future, aren't they? And this future is like, eclipse is usually 3 months long. Lunar eclipse, Saturn will be there 4 months, 5 months actually. The other thing on the ninth house that can Saturn and the eclipse can make you do this. And the eclipse can help you have really powerful, emotional, deep realizations and breakthroughs about what is possible for you, about the future possibilities, even downloads, psychic downloads, or sudden revelation. This is an eclipse. Saturn works very slowly, but it's its last time here, and it can give its results. While eclipse works very fast, bam, it hits you. I mean, the processes are very quick outside. So something can happen to realign you for a different future, to realign you for different opportunities, because ninth house is also the house of our future, the house whether we can plan our future or foresee or feel what is possible for us. So the eclipse there it's a portal to higher dimensions or lower ones with an eclipse. So try not to spiral out, spiral up, not spiral down. What is possible? And this can happen by suddenly a new opportunity appearing or something shifting in your life that allows you to have a new perspective on it, or that allows you to remove old and harmful beliefs in some way, reprogramming your mind. Uh, but on a more material level, what is the ninth house? It's learning, teaching, taking some course, for example. You might be completing some degree with Saturn there, with the eclipse there. You might be completing or thinking something about higher education, pre-qualification over the next 3-4 months. That can be a focus for you. Ninth house is foreign travel. Well, with eclipses in Saturn there, I won't recommend to travel on the 7th and on the 7th and the 21st exactly, but it can mean activating, opening the opportunities to do something different, to, uh, for example, to travel somewhere or to complete some immigration process or documents. On ninth house is also teaching, maybe completing some teaching project, or ninth house is legal matters. So yeah, if you're in some kind of legal matters that you haven't completed, this is your sign that over the next 4 or 5 months, and there can be some very important resolution or movement or development with this eclipse in September in your ninth house regarding legal matters. Ninth house is also father figures and teacher figures, mentor figures. Some of you might decide that you are ending a relationship with a mentor figure. Saturn is like, if it's not working, don't be that dead monkey, dead donkey, uh, or end up, following of some teacher or guru or beliefs or some kind of disappointment even, but to free you for the more aligned choice. Uh, yeah, but otherwise it can be the completion of some intellectual, academic efforts over the next few months, of some high-minded, academic, or, it doesn't have to be PhD or something, but my work is academic, for example, as well. A lot of mental, a lot of higher concept, foreseeing the future, higher perspective, and so on. So this is about the Saturn 9 house energy. As I said, it's also father, it's also foreign countries. So for some of you, it can be something around that. Or higher knowledge, astrology, teaching with teachers. There's some escalation or important development there. With full moon eclipse, you might decide to let go of that teaching or complete such teaching, or be rewarded and have some breakthrough psychologically if you're trying to achieve some different state of consciousness, some different level, and so on. Now, the other eclipse is on the 21st of September, and it's the second new moon in Virgo this year. It's very rare. We usually would have one new moon in each of the 12 signs. Now you're having two new moons in the same sign. And one of them is an eclipse. So eclipse lasts for 6 months, new moon lasts for 1 month. So the first new moon in your third house was in the end of August. The second one is in September 21st, but it has duration of 6 months because it's a solar eclipse as well. So here's this big exclamation mark. God is asking you and inviting you and pushing you, your higher self, call it whatever, the universe, to really start something new in this third house. And you know, okay. So it's telling you to complete something in the eighth house, the ninth house, release old beliefs that are limiting for yourself, what is possible at your future. Your plans for the future might change, even like pre-qualification and whatever, because when we study, we're changing our future. And then it's telling you in the third house, start. Third house is experimenting, trying new things. Third house is the most curious house. The cat, it's the toddler. It's like put your finger everywhere, and it is the most courageous house. So two new moons, one of them eclipse. God is activating your courage to really come out of this ninth house, the energy of, for a little bit at least, because you know it's asking you to change something there, but it's telling you to start something new in the third house, which is experiment, try new things, try new places, uh, connect to new people. Third house is a social house where you make new acquaintances, new people just to chat with about something, to exchange ideas, to brainstorm. And it's telling you have 6 7 months area with these two new moons there, one of them long term, to try something new, maybe learn something new. You know, ninth house is our beliefs and opinions, our beliefs, deep beliefs. Third house is other people's beliefs. So it's kind of asking you, maybe letting other points of view come to you, other belief systems that are not your own ones. Third house is also asking us to get involved more with tangible things, hands on. You've learned your theory, the ninth house. Now it's like hands on. Practice what you preach. Don't just preach. Nine is the preaching or theory or abstract. And the third house is like hands on. Okay, you learn those spiritual principles. Now you go and apply them. Third house. Third house is self-made wealth as well. Third house is the second from the second, which is kind of again a money house. People, when the third house is activated, or people with third house strong, they usually make their own money through their skills, which a lot of us have to do now in this reality, though. 200-300 years, you might be no, but self-made wealth is using your brain, third house, using your skills, whatever they are, hands, intelligence, knowledge, to ideas to create wealth. So God might be also inviting you into try something new, maybe learn a new skill set, you know. And is it playing an instrument? Is it using AI? Is it some new skill set you're called and invited to learn, to apply? And so it's a lot about learning. You're being asked to learn practical things that are more rather than abstract. Uh, and this will give you, and it will show you that there is new opportunity for you. Third house is also people that you connect with, so new people can appear into your life, but it's already existing as well. And because it's an eclipse, third house is siblings, relatives, teammates, workmates, associates, people interact in your everyday level. There might be some crisis with one of those people in your life, whether it's a mate, whether it's a relative, whether it's a neighbor, whether it's a teammate, or whether it's someone you interact on social media or in real life, or a sibling. This crisis can push you into a new direction of communicating and a new way of connecting to people and how you express whatever you want to say and communicate. So it can, for example, be that, and because this new moon is with the south node, it's asking to might be like letting go of something so you can make space for something new, maybe letting go of some people so you make space for new set of people that will appear in your life over the next 3 4 months, in your immediate environment as well. There might be some crisis or a new beginning in the life of a sibling, or new neighbors can arrive. It can be as mundane as that. Oh, the neighbors are building something new. So in your third house, and I'm not saying this will create a crisis or anything, or maybe you start some new neighborhood initiative, or maybe a new acquaintance appears, or there might be some crisis in the relationships with colleagues, or some project. Third house is work project that you work in a team with 2 3 people or a few more. New business project that you're called to ask, or it might be just as simple as you're being asked with those 2 new moons, 1 eclipse, start a podcast, write something. Third house is writing, speaking, buy a new laptop, buy a new car, or you know because the universe might force you. Oh, something breaks with your car and you go and buy a new one. Or your laptop breaks and you go and buy a new one. I'm not saying all of you go and buy new cars and laptops. You'll see what it is. I'm just telling you, if something like that happens, you'd know, like, oh, okay, I need to renew my third house, communications. Or there might be, it can mean like a new trip, short distance, explore your environment in the city or in your country. Third house is that. Learn a new skill, connect to new people, start new business ventures, go to some meetings with others, something like that. So there you go, Cancer. This is for you. Your environment might become newer, some letting go of old beliefs that we talked and other. So this ninth house, third house, is quite on focus for you, but it's not nothing like extreme. And anyway, because it's axis of learning, both the third and the nine of changing your mind, I think the biggest changes will be in your conscious and superconscious. The third house is the conscious, the logical mind, the everyday mind. The ninth house is the superconscious. This is where the biggest shifts are happening for you, which is the beginning of, it might not be visible to others, but when the shift happens, your future can change. And if you'd like to learn something and shift your consciousness, check out my course on the 3 periods of life. So, and how long each period of those is, not how long you're going to live, but when each new period starts. And is it the first going to be easier? Is the second going to be more successful? Maybe the third one, maybe in your 60s or 70s, you're going to run the period of a planet that makes you super well off, fortunate, or who knows, the opposite. It's very ancient astrology and it's fascinating. And I'm obsessed with this technique. Check it out. And you don't need to even know astrology. I explain it in very easy terms.